Hello and welcome to Let's Discuss. We're going through some of the players that we think should be, Moyes, there's talk about Moyes' revolution in the summer. He's going to be offloaded and some of the deadwood. We're here to discuss just who we think is the deadwood and if they should be leaving. Mike, first of all, James Collins, his contract's up at the end of the season. We discussed this last summer in detail. It's not going away. He's still not been offered a new deal. Do you think he should be getting a new deal, or do you think it's time that we say thanks, see you later, and we look to getting a younger, fitter, possibly better centre back?
He is the only member of our defence that I really would want to make sure we keep. And we have got an appalling defence. The figures don't lie, right? Our defence is rubbish. It's the second worst in the Premier League at this moment in time. Could easily slip into being the worst. He's rubbish. We've got some okay players in there. Collins is, even though he's limited as a player, get that, but he is really good at some things, and those things are the things such a really important defender, and he gives everything 1,000,000%, and he knows the club. He is the one player I'm really convinced should be playing for West Ham out of our entire defence at the moment.
Is it as simple and a no-brainer as that, Bez?
It's ridiculous. I can't understand why we're even debating on giving him a contract. You know, the amount of games I've been to this season, certainly away. Not only is he a rock, not only is he loyal, not only does he wear his heart on his sleeve, not only is he Mr. West Ham, why are we even contemplating on not giving him a contract? Apparently I have heard that certain players have been told whether they're signing or not next year, and I'm telling you something now, if Collins don't get a contract, whether it's a 1-year rolling contract, that guy will sign it whether it's a rolling contract or not, because he wants to stay here. Do you know what I mean? But this season, the games that I've seen him play, 9 times out of 10, he's been a rock for us, and I want James Collins to start most games. And if you'd have asked me that 2 or 3 seasons ago, I'd have sat on the fence a little bit and gone, well, I don't know about Ginge this week, do you know what I mean? He was always very hit and miss under certain managers, but I'm telling you something now, in 2018, the way things are, get that contract signed before some other clubs, like Brighton, who we've heard about James Collins maybe going to, get him signed. Get him signed. Contracts are only worth the paper they're printed on these days anyway, because if someone comes in and wants to buy someone, money talks, and you know, if we sign Collins and someone wants to offer 6 to 8 million at the age he's at now, what is he? Is he 30? How old's Collins now?
I don't know,
34. Okay, so if someone comes in and offers, you know, if we sign him and then someone comes in and offers, like, I don't know, 6 to 8 million for him, okay, maybe a bit of an unrealistic figure, but I'm just using that as an example. This is a Welsh international. This is some guy last year, or a couple of seasons ago, that were playing Portugal. Do you know what I mean? The guy, honestly, it really bugs me. Get him signed, get it done now, and just stop faffing around.
I think what's really weird about the whole Collins situation as well. For Moyes to even be contemplating not offering him a contract, this is a guy who's brought in Stuart Pearce, who's probably the nearest, closest relative as a football player into his coaching team, and see the value of bringing someone like Pearce into his coaching team, to not want to keep him, not just as a player, but also then after. I don't know what Collins wants to do. If there's any chance he wants to go into coaching, you need to keep him in the club to move into there as well. Do you know what I mean? You bring someone like Pearce in as a coach, surely you understand the dynamic of having that character around. He must do that. So I'm a bit baffled as to why Collins is present. Already hasn't been trying to deliver.
The only thing I'll add to that, we'll get on to our next player in a second, the only thing I'll add to you, I'll echo what you two have said, the only thing I'll add is, to replace him would cost 50, 20, 25. Alfie Mawson was being quoted at 30 million. That's how much it would cost to replace Collins. So getting rid of Collins is one thing, but to replace him is 30 million of your summer budget gone like that. But another centre back who will command a fee out for the rest of the season, Mike, Winston Reid. Is it time up for Reid? Bear in mind he's 30 years old or something. I think he's 30. He's still got 5 years to go on his contract. It's a long contract. And he's proven to be quite injury prone. But he used to be regarded as our best centre back. Now, with Ogbonna and Collins, but surely he's in our second best centre back now. Is it time to cut Reid off, or do we have to stick by him?
No, I think it's time to go. Ultimately, as I've already said, the figures don't lie. We've got one of the second worst defence in the league, right? Yeah. And so things have got to change there. Then you've got to say, the only one I would really say I would definitely keep above all else is Ginge, who started with. the one I think needs to go the most is Reed. And not just because he is injury prone, which he is, and this is not just this season, he's been injury prone for the last 2 or 3 seasons. His performances are either really good or awful. There isn't really an average game from him, do you know what I mean? He just doesn't seem to, and the really good ones are getting further and further apart as well. So there is that, and there's the fact that we could get some money for him. But I think most of all is there is something weirdly wrong with the centre defence, and we seem to play better without him now. Right? We just seem as a unit to play better without him. I don't know why that is. He's been here for quite a while. I think he's got a little bit too comfortable. I think it's a little bit like just turning up, knocking it out, phoning it in, whatever you want to call it. That's what I feel anyway.
I think the thing with Reed is he dives out a lot. He comes out of that back three. To go close something down, he does it with good intentions, but as soon as you do that, you leave a gap and you're out the back three, you're out the structure. But another player's injured, Bez. Byron, we're signing him with potential for the right back. He's never quite kicked on. He's almost like the player we bought, and we're all waiting for him to kick on. I think he's now 26. He's no longer young. He's got to be playing first team football. Is he good enough to be Zabaleta's understudy, or is it time to offload him and look to getting a new right back? Because we are rumoured to be linked with a couple of them.
He's not good enough. Realistically, I'm not going to be harsh on the kid. You know what I mean? You know, he's done well in some games, and other games he hasn't. But again, his form is inconsistent. But you know, getting back to Reed and stuff like these are the type of players. If you have a look at it, let's talk black and white. These are the type of players that, okay, they make a squad up, but are they going to really push to that next level? I don't think they are. So we need to have a look at our squad in depth and say, okay, and players like Reed, you know, don't need to get back to it. It is time for Reed to go, unfortunately. Reed, like you say, he's been here long enough. I think he's a bit complacent with West Ham. He knows where he stands with us. He knows the fans quite like him. He knows if he has a bad game, he's not going to get scrutinised that much because he does outweigh it with a good game. So, it's kind of hit and miss with Reed. But with regards to Byram, it's players like this that, if you're happy for us to sit mid-table and you're happy for us to sit in that bottom half of the table just above relegation and middle table, then Byram's your man. But for me, if I'm looking forward I want 8th spot, I want 7th spot, I want to be competing around them types of positions, and Byram hasn't really given me enough to convince me that that's a position.
Mate, I don't even think he'll get you mid-table. I think he'll get you what we've got now, relegation struggle. I don't think Byram cuts it in any way, shape or form. I agree with you, he's not. He's not even good enough as a squad player. He should be gone.
I'm about to say, what about as the second choice right back?
No, our second right back is Zabaleta.
Interesting. Right, we'll move on because there's a lot of players to get through, unfortunately. We're not going to discuss Evra because he's not been here long enough, and I think we're all going to be quite unison on that one. Don't keep him. Mario we won't discuss yet because he's not been here long enough and it's a bigger fee attached to him. Yes, I'm going to discuss this player because I don't like him, but Mike Chiati. Is his time up? We're rumoured. We've got another show up later after this one in the week or next week about which positions we should be strengthening. However, everybody over the last 2 or 3 windows have been talking about get a defensive midfielder and get a defensive midfielder. That drum's going to be getting banned again in the summer. So is it Chiati that we're replacing, and if so, do we need to shift him on? Because he's at an age where you can command a decent fee for him. With Reed and Byram, you don't want to get a bit of cash, but not much. With Chiati, I think you'd still get quite a large lump sum.
Yeah, you would, yeah. Do we need to go? Well, I know I don't want to bleed into the whole what positions he's strengthening. A bit like our defence, our entire midfield class needs restructuring, and he needs to go. And we're probably going to move on, so I'll stop there. But yeah, he really needs to go. He has been deeply average for 2 seasons with the occasional good game thrown in. But that occasional good game is literally you could count one hand, right? He's been deeply average for a long time. He's not particularly good central defender. I know you're a fan of playing him there, but I actually don't think he's a fill-in central defender we need. As we've already discussed, some quality central defenders. He's not good enough for midfield. He can't cross the road. He can't pass the ball to somebody in the same sponsored socks or whatever it is he's meant to be doing. Do you know what I mean? He runs up and down a fair bit without accompanying anything. He's good at giving away fouls and getting booked. That's it. I don't see the dynamic box-to-box midfielder that he was for one season when he first arrived has long since departed, and he should do the same.
Yeah, again, I agree with Mike. He needs to go. Like you say, for last couple of seasons, he's lost his way a little bit, and I'm not sure, whether it is just his age. But I just think, again, if we're going to compete in these positions, he's the right position for where we're at as a club at the minute. So if we want to improve, then we need to ship players like this on. If we don't want to improve and you want to be scraping relegation, Kouyate's your man.
Yeah.
And going back to what Mike said, because you're probably going to mention him in a minute, our whole midfield. I'm not saying Kouyate's a pretty happy guy, walks around with a smile on his face. We all know that he's just don't stop smiling. But is that good enough for people that come here every week and pay good money to watch a good standard of football? No. Not for me. I'd rather have some miserable bastard with a grumpy look on his face and we're winning more games. That's just my... So, yeah, Kouyate needs to go.
So you want Joey Barton?
If he wins games and he entertains me, yes.
And he can pass to somebody.
Yeah.
What midfielder are you thinking I'm going to say next then?
Obiang? No,
Obiang. I thought you were going to go.
Why did you two want to get rid of Obiang?
I'll get rid of Obiang.
Yeah. The only person out of our main midfielder I'd keep is Mark Noble.
Yeah. Because he's passionate.
We've got 3.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, so we've got to keep one of them. We've got to keep one.
Let's keep some kind of continuity, and we need at least to bring in at least 3 quality midfield. He needs complete rebuilding.
This is where a problem becomes now, because we just mentioned 6 players we want to get rid of. If you include Hart, Mario, and Evra, whose contracts are up due to loans at short terms, etc., etc. Just quickly then, Bez, is there anyone else we haven't mentioned that you would like to see offloaded? I think there's a few viewers would like to see Creswell offloaded.
I don't think so.
Some would say Antonio, I don't know, but is there anyone else that we haven't mentioned that you two would like to see?
I think Antonio's days are done. Just the way he plays football. A lot of people said that he's put on too much muscle. He doesn't look interested in West Ham games. I know he scored against Liverpool, granted. I know he scored against Swansea. We can't sell him at the minute. We can't. That's just a fact. Do I feel like is that? For the last couple, his attitude's been wrong. You know that, guys. Do you know what I mean? In certain situations, there's been times when, and whether that's his fault or not, leading up to the first half of this season before Christmas, the guy used to die on the pitch at 65 minutes. It wasn't right. Somewhere along the line, something's happened. Whether that's his fitness. For me, if we could get 25 million for Antonio or 20 million for Antonio, I'd jog him on.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'll tell you why, because I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't think it's his attitude. I think it's been fitness. I actually don't think there's anything particularly wrong with this. I don't think it's like he's turned up, played for a season, got the big contract, and then can't be bothered because he's earning the money. Because he did that and then was good last season, won the Hammer of the Year. I think something's happened fitness-wise. I think his confidence has been affected. I think for the last few games, hopefully we'll start to see the old Antonio coming back.
Since Chelsea started throwing a load of figures in it.
They did before though in his stadium. That wasn't just this summer. They were in the winter of the season.
I think it's in his head though, Mike. I think he's thinking what if all the time. He plays the game as if like, what if like he's better than West Ham.
I'm not buying that.
I think the one problem is, what position would you play Antonio?
Well,
I think he's a right winger.
I think he's a left winger.
But the point is, we don't play a right
No,
winger.
I know.
Anymore. I think that's the problem with Antonio.
Yeah, I'm probably judging him based on the
There's no coincidence that
position.
we've changed the 3 at the back and Antonio suddenly turned crap. It's no coincidence.
No. I'm not saying he's a crap player.
I know, but I'm just trying to say that I think that's why he's because we're taking away his position.
Yeah, and it is harsh.
But Mike, let's move on because we don't want this video lasting an hour. Is there any other players you would like to see offloaded? I mean, Hugo, we don't want to mention him, but he's not had a game yet, but you have to wait for him to get a chance. But he's going to get a chance.
We won't waste the money.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what about yourself, Mike? Is there anyone else we haven't mentioned you'd like to see offloaded? Not the youngsters.
No. I think it's way too early to. No, I think we keep Creswell. I think I would be tempted with. We need to. Before we talk about who we're going to float, we need to work out what we're going to do. Are we sticking with 3 at the back? In that case, you need 2 wing backs, 2 proper wing backs on each side. And if you're going to do that, I would look towards getting rid of poor old Arthur Masuaku. I think he's an okay player going forward. He's not a wing back. He just is not.
I think he's the best we've got at wing back, though, Mike. He's the best we've had at a left wing back for a long time.
I think he could do with improvement.
Yeah. He's certainly not spitting on people in his attitude. In that respect, he can improve on. But I think his ability's there. Do you enjoy watching Masuaku play?
Yeah, but my point is, look at the numbers of the defence. Look, we have got one of the leakiest defences in the league, right?
Yeah,
there is a reason, and teams love going down that side.
Yeah.
They love going down that side. They're happier going down that side. And they are even up against Snail's Pace Sabalata down the right. Do you know what I mean? It's just people love it to get down that side. Now he's a great counter-attacking wingback, and get that. Yeah, he can whip in a good cross, etc. But when another team comes forward, that's the side they want to go down because he's going to give away a foul at best. Do you know what I mean? You'll love tipping him to get booked. Yeah. So if you're talking about,
filthy, but I quite like that about him. I quite like that.
But you know, if you're looking at people, who do you want to sell? I'm not saying we should, but I would definitely. If a decent offer came in, I would. And as for Antonio, you're saying 20. Sorry, I know you said move on. 20 to 25 million. You can't replace him for that money.
No, I know, and granted. Okay, I've got one here for you, just quickly. What about Chicharito? What would you do with him, knowing full well that he spoke to the club and said that he would give it his best? He doesn't want to be there. We all know he would rather go on. He didn't put in a transfer request, did he? But he made it perfectly clear that he would rather be playing somewhere else, and it hasn't quite worked out. So what would you do at Chicharito?
Again, it goes back to what Mike said a minute ago. One, it depends on the manager, and two, it depends on what we're wanting to do, how we're wanting to play. We need to get an identity first and find the players that do fit it and offload the ones that don't. But do I have faith in that happening? No, because everything's a bit short term, and I think our transfer strategies. I mean, the fact is, we've just done this show, which we're going to wrap up in a second. We've just named half the squad.
Yeah. But that's being realistic, you know.
But the problem is still, Bez, we've already got a depleted squad, so we already need numbers. And Hart, Mario, and Evra's contracts are up at the end of the season. And Collins, as it stands, that's 4 players with their contracts up. We already need 3 or 4 players, plus those 4. That's 8 players before we even look at Obiang, Kiati, Creswell, Reed.
Which is why we need a new manager to come in and bring some philosophy in.
We can't offload the deadwood yet because we don't have next year's deadwood yet, if that makes sense. Yeah. In a year's time, you'd then be looking at the Ginge to say now your time is up, Obiang, maybe Antonio say now we upgrade these players, but we can't do that yet because we don't have the. But anyway, that's it from us. Let us know who you'd like to see sold. We've got Biden, Reed, Collins, Creswell.
And if anyone watching this, I'll play up front for you. A really small price.
Antonio Hernandez.
Guaranteed 20 goals a season. That's me.
Plenty of players that you could have. Well, let us know in the description, in the comments below, who you think should go. Antonio is a big call. I still think that's a big call. But drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. And next week, or in a few days' time, we'll have a video up discussing what positions we think we need to strengthen in the summer as a priority with a few quid as a budget. Thank you for joining us.